today's show. Tomorrow, we're going to head out on the road to Divine Mercy. Yes, I need to be on my best behavior because I'll be accompanied, I'm sure, by a couple of priests
Yes,
on AM Minnesota tomorrow.
you'll be under close watch, Gordy.
So I know that's hard to believe, Nort, but I'm heading out to church
Good for
their
you.
Spirit Fest is coming up this weekend.
That's quite an event. They get quite an attendance at that. That's a pretty nice thing in
Yeah,
town.
it's 2 days this year.
That's awesome.
You know, in the past it's been a one-day event.
I didn't realize they had advanced it. That's super.
They're gonna have a big car cruise like you guys had downtown.
Those car cruises are popular, and they just keep growing. Happy about that.
You had over 200 vehicles in your last one. That's
We
amazing.
did. We ended up, we pushed that thing clear from 4th Street all the way down to the library, both sides of the street. We ended up plugging intersections and parking them down the middle to try to make room. And so, which was a big success for us. In as much as that we advanced it just in the numbers of cars, where they came from. We have that club from Northern Iowa, the Northern Iowa Vintage Auto Club.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's why you went over 200.
Yeah, and we had a group in from Rochester, and we had a group in from the Twin Cities, the Minnesota Challengers. When those boys rolled in with their really new Dodge Challengers, all fixed up with the neon lights on the running boards and the whole thing, those big hopped up motors, that was actually pretty darn impressive. Then they got them all parked together in one spot. It was.
And the university was there a couple times, had a solar car.
The solar car, and they had their, oh, come on, a race car, for lack of the best term of it, a formula car that they had as well. So, and they were busy. People loved seeing those things. That solar car. My nephew's son, who's maybe 6 years old, I thought I'd give him a lesson on solar. I said, so do you know how that car runs? Yeah, Uncle Nort, it's solar. So, well, do you know what that means? Well, yeah. They take the power from the sun and convert it so that the car can run. I learned that last year. So this speaks to curriculum,
Yeah,
I guess.
Uncle Nort
Uncle
thought he
Nort.
was going to be real smart.
Yeah, Uncle
And the
Nort.
6-year-old knew what was happening already.
Yeah, yeah, that's the guy I need to have fix my iPhone as well, of course. So.
I'll bet, yeah. I'll let you do the honors of introducing our other guest here.
Well, our friend and board comrade, Sam Oak, is with us today. We just talked about it this morning at our Mainstreet committee meeting, Mainstreet Board of Directors meeting, which Sam is a member of, and I'll let him introduce himself the rest of the way.
Yeah, Sam is with the Faribault Diversity Coalition as well, aren't you, Sam?
I am, yes, and I'm an employee with the Faribault Public School District.
Right, you work in what area of the Faribault Public Schools?
The EL department, the English Learning Department.
Yes, which is a growing department.
It is growing. We have we have over 900 students right now who are English learners, and they speak 11 different languages. Our predominant student groups are from Somalia and different parts of Central America, like Guatemala, El Salvador, and Belize.
Just think about that, Nort. We have a melting pot right in our school district.
We absolutely do, and I know that the work that Sam does there and his comrades has been really, really helpful and have been really impactful. There's the challenges that come with the language barriers. I think are equal or even more tough than necessarily the cultural barriers among kids. What do you think, Sam?
To a certain extent, I do agree. I think they're equally as important. The language barrier makes it hard for our students and our families to really navigate the system that we have here in town and the system of support and all that.
Think about it. If we got put in Somalia, I can't speak Somalian. Can you?
Negative. I'm unable on that
So
one.
we'd be lost, for lack of a better term, right?
Right. So it takes some time. I mean, research shows that it's actually 3 to 5 years before students can really pick up the academic language, and some research even puts it off to 5 to 7 years before they can really communicate fluently and in the English language.
Yeah. We're going to touch a little bit about the growing diversity in our businesses downtown, which reflects that diversity in our population when AM Minnesota continues. And I'm sure Nort wants to touch a little bit on Taste of Faribault, which is tomorrow evening at the Faribault Legion, and we got the Fall Festival coming up that we'll touch on as well. Lot to cover, so don't touch that radio dial. And that's northlandbuildings.com. AM Minnesota today, we've got Nort Johnson from Mainstreet program from the Chamber. And also with us is Sam Oak. He's at the Faribault Diversity Coalition. He's on the board, right, of Mainstreet.
He's on our board of directors for Faribault Mainstreet as well.
Who's the chairperson of the board?
Bruce Burkertsmeyer is the chair, and vice chair, I think, is Todd Markman this year from Reliance Bank.
Yeah.
So.
How many members are on your board? Do you need more members?
We're always looking for members. We haven't just got the board of directors. We have committees as well that meet, and the committees meet on specific topics. We have a design committee. We've been a little loose the last couple of months, but the work of as far as meeting, but the work of the design committee continues. We've got a bench project we're working on, and we've also been engaged by the city to be involved with a parking plan for downtown, and then also some wayfinding signage and updating banners, and so that committee has input on those topics. We have also our organizational committee, which the main work for them is fundraising and helping us recruit volunteers for the Mainstreet organization. The promotions committee, and that's we talked earlier about the downtown car cruises, how we knocked that last one out of the park for attendance, and so they do not only that, but they also organize with the help of many volunteers Crazy Days, Hometown Holidays. We've had a pub crawl, and we've got coming up the Fall Festival, which this year, last year we upped it a notch by having the spooky basement tours at the Paradise. We just buttoned up that deal again this year, so there'll be the parade, spooky basement tours, there'll be downtown trick-or-treating again, and kids games, and the chili contest. So I'm making the call out right now. We have limited spaces, so get a hold of Nort at faribault.mn.org, or give me a shout at the Chamber of Commerce and leave a message if you're interested in participating in the chili contest. Now, Ryan Knott, manager at T-Mobile, was last year's champion, and he has already lobbed his name in the hat to go for 2 years in a row.
Well,
so,
of course, you got to defend your title.
So let's have somebody in to try to unseat him this year. He's going to maybe have to up his game. There's been trash talk has been occurring all year around that chili contest. The Diversity Coalition had chili in the chili contest last year, and Sam was out serving.
Yeah, and we'll do it again this year. We'll let our chili do the talking though. So.
That boy.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear trash talk from us, but I think we'll be able to put out a pretty good chili recipe.
All
Fantastic.
Right.
You know, we did.
Delicious.
We added the trick-or-treating last year. It was wildly popular. Jan Roberts from Faribault Insurance, they sponsored trick-or-treat bags. We gave out, I think it was 300 bags to kids, and we had 22 or 23 businesses that signed up. And so the idea is come downtown and take a walk around and see. We do have a pretty decent product offering downtown with regard to businesses and retail. And most of them participated last year in giving out candy, so you can get around and see all of our businesses with the kids, and they get a little treat.
So when is the Fall Festival?
October 8th, Saturday, October 8th. And that's the same day, and we're doing some co-marketing with F-Town for their Foktoberfest celebration. They'll have games and food trucks and music. Last year's music was fantastic, and I'm sure it will be this year as well. And that goes clear till 11 o'clock at night. Our event parade's at noon, and then there's the kid games, the chili contest, and the basement tours. That all wraps up about 3 o'clock, so we take up the early part of the afternoon. And then the Historic Society, the museum, is running their event as well that same day in the mid to late afternoon, and then F-Town's going all day too. Good busy day.
I'm sure you want to touch on, before we move on to other things, Taste of Faribault tomorrow.
Taste of Faribault tomorrow night, and wow, we've got a full lineup there as well, and that's just such a fun event. We've got all these local vendors there with their the best of their food, and they're also, of course, there's beer and wine at the event as well. At the American Legion, Legion always does a great job hosting the events in their hall there. So tickets are available at the Chamber of Commerce. If they weren't still available for $15, I apologize, but they're going to be for today because I guess I'm putting it out there. I know at the door they're $20. Go to the Chamber of Commerce and get them today. They're 15. Buy 5, get 1 free.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
So lots of fun, really good food, and catching up with everybody is really a treat.
And the hours are
Yes, there are hours for the event. I'll double
5 to
check.
8, is that right?
I think it's 5 to 8. Pretty sure. I know I'm supposed to be there at
We're
4
both
to
trying
kind
to
of help
remember
with
this
things.
off the top of our bald heads.
5 to 8 sounds right, and I should just pull up that on my handy
Yeah, you
handheld
can do
here,
that
but-
while I visit with Sam a little bit.
Perfect.
Earlier, Sam, I mentioned that our downtown faribault is starting to reflect our changing diversity in the community. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. I mean, we can look at the stores and restaurants around here. You can see a couple Somali shops, a couple of Latino restaurants in the downtown area too, and then the apartments above it are you know, our residents up there are quite diverse as well. And the Faribault Diversity Coalition downtown works with all the different populations that are here in Faribault here. I mean, we have a Cambodian dance group that goes on, you know, on the weekends, and we've just started a Somali dance group now too. And then we have classes that focuses on the immigrant and refugee experiences here in town. So, yeah, definitely our downtown is very diverse.
And it shouldn't surprise us that we're seeing this change, and we should all patronize it, right?
Oh yeah, I think it's a great thing for our community here. I mean, you know, the world is coming together. You know, through social media and all that. You know, it's a global world, and Faribault reflects it. So it's a great opportunity for our kids and our residents in town here to really experience communicating and socializing and be you know, celebrating together with people from different parts of the world.
Yeah, just embrace it.
Embrace it. It's we talked a little bit on the break. There's a lot about this the diversity and the changing dynamics in Faribault that are uncomfortable for some people, and yeah, unfortunately there are those that they lash out a little bit. And it's I think a little bit of lack of understanding, a little bit of fear. But at the end of the day, this is our dynamic, and I'm very proud of Faribault. Happy to have come back to town, and the dynamics are part of what's exciting about Faribault. The most important thing, as you said, Gordy, embrace it. This is who we are, and the downtown, the businesses downtown reflect it. And it's just important. It's important to open your eyes and open your heart.
So the recommendation would be, you know, pop into some of these businesses and you might discover, well, for example, new food that you'll just love.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, sort of around this whole diversity, opportunity, and downtown, I'm gonna segue into the Night 290 event that we had this year, and food was a big part of that. In 2015, Mainstreet reached out to Sam. He was not on our board of directors at that time. He was with the Diversity Coalition. They have some conduits of communication to some of our downtown residents, and we extended the invite to come and join us. And along with that, our downtown new downtown population brought sambusas, which are, you've had some of those, outstanding
So good.
treat, and they brought some henna tattoo artists. This is again not this year, but last year's event, and it went really well. And there was some recognition of the value of just being together and breathing together in that type of a setting.
And I will say, if you don't mind me interrupting here, Nort,
Please do.
having been down there each of those years, I saw a bit of a change. There weren't for lack of a better term, you know, in high school we used to call them cliques, where
Right.
people would congregate together. There was still some of that, but it's getting better, where more and more people are intermingling down there. Last year there was a little more separation. Now they're closer together. Wouldn't you agree with that, Sam?
Yeah, I saw that too. And I think, you know, just the celebration, being able to celebrate together, brings people together.
Yeah, we should even do more of that, you know.
I agree. And there's there's a fair amount of that takes place. You know, they had the event. Unfortunately, I was out of town. I was out of town experiencing an earthquake in Omaha for the event that they had here of just a couple weeks ago on the Sunday. And you know, there's the international festival, and really almost anything that we're doing right now is reflecting, the attendance is reflecting our diverse population. I wanted to share this year, so 2015 was a good event. 2016, just this past summer, Sam and his group helped us reach a little bit further, and we had, well, let's see, we had Cambodian beef sticks, we had pampusa, El Salvadorian pampusa, we
Papusa,
had
yep.
papusa,
Yep.
papusa, and we had sambusas, the Somali treat, we had all-American all-beef hot dogs and popcorn, and it was delicious, and all of the different cultures that those foods reflect had helpers there and people attending the event and participating. But then we had 3 performances. Sam, tell us about the performances. They were
awesome.
We had our genuine bluegrass music before that. You know, before I forget, I have to shout out for Delane James and Paul Panaski and Mona Kaiser. They do all the lifting for this event. We just, you know, we are blessed to be able to connect a few things, but I mean, all the work is done out of those outfits and then Sam's connections. So.
Yeah, well, I got to listen to the great music while I was grilling. I couldn't get the beef stick out of the grill fast enough. People were coming to pull
it's
that
gone by
up.
the time I got there.
Yeah, but maybe I missed some of the performances as we were getting ready in the back. But we had our Cambodian dance group who's been quite seasoned right now, and they got dressed in their traditional attire, and we did 2 dances there. One a classical folk dance, and then the other the very popular Cambodian coconut dance there, where we use coconut shells to make music. And then it was the very first performance of our Somali dance group after really 2 days of practice. So we got out and we danced to Somali music, which is a routine that I actually choreograph for that there. And it was a lot of fun, and we love seeing the crowd's reaction to it, and hopefully, and you know, you don't have to be of that ethnicity to do those dances, and I would love to encourage anyone who is interested in learning traditional dances from different countries to get connected with us. You know, I do the Cambodian dancing, the Somali dancing. I can also salsa, merengue, and do some of the Latin dances.
Do you still disco, Sam?
You know, dancing is you know, I always say this, and it's too simplified, but dancing really, a lot of it's the same in every culture. You just move your body to music. Yep. So you put on disco music, I bet I can do a good routine out of that too.
Dial it in.
Yep.
John Travolta here.
There you go.
Sam Oak. But you're no dummy, Sam. Music.
Yes.
It transcends languages,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
The dancing transcends languages.
Yes.
We just enjoyed each other's company. It was great when you were doing your folk dancing to have people clapping of all ethnic groups.
Yes.
Right.
Right?
It was, you know, super cool. How else can you put it? It was just super cool. And what a blessing to be able to take a little slice of life, take a little break. And I say breathe together a lot, because that's important. I mean, if you can learn how to do that, the other things become much easier. Just being in the same room and making sure that we're okay. I guess we're okay. This is fine, right? And then the other interactions become easier.
We're all human beings, and I will say through the travels I've done internationally, been blessed to go to Tanzania a couple of times and other places. You find that people wherever you go, they have the same desires that we do in life.
We all love food. We love to have fun, and that's why those events like the Night to Unite and other events like that brings people together is so important. I mean, it actually makes, you know, myself as an immigrant refugee too, and others like me, really feel at home and connected to Faribault here. So it's great.
You know, some people might dress a little differently, but that's no big deal.
Agreed. Hey, I'm thinking about we were having a chat last night about some of the wardrobe I recall having when I was younger. I actually owned a pair of hip huggers, Gordy. True story. So
Wow.
yeah, you know, garb is garb. I did want to share, because I think it's very well deserved by those people who put on the event and those who participated. Um, Faribault Main Street was recognized by the Minnesota Preservation Alliance for our efforts on the Night to Unite effort, and won an award
Way to
for
go,
most
Sam.
targeted event.
Sam and others, yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was really rewarding. So Sam and one of the performers, and then Todd Markman from our board, and myself and my honey Shelley went up to Hastings last week, and got to do a short presentation, but then received an award from them. It was really nice to be recognized for that.
Did you video this? Is that how you were able to show what happened?
We had actually first-hand accounts. We had reports written by some of those that were at the event and who put the event on, and a lot of pictures. There were a lot of pictures. So
Yeah, I took quite a few myself.
that
It was amazing.
it was fun. There's a press release coming from the Preservation Alliance that I'll forward out to the local media. So there'll be a story about it soon and some photos. But
Well,
again,
you just broke it right here.
I broke it right here. You deserve it, Gordy.
Right
You
here
know,
on
you do a
AM
lot for
Minnesota.
us. You
An
should
award.
get the exclusive. Get the exclusive. So
Yeah. So Sam, we were talking earlier off the air too during the break. I was telling you how much young kids embrace each other more than us older folk, because we're not as adept to change, right?
I see it all across the board, but yeah, when you walk through the elementary schools, definitely you see kids playing with each other, learning together, and really, the cultural differences and the language barriers, there's still struggles, but it seems like kids are able to figure out a lot faster than us how to work around and overcome it.
I think they've figured out that their world for the day is that playground, right? So you know, if you can figure it out on the playground. And that was actually, I had, I'll say, upper echelon of the school administration for Faribault said in a meeting not too long ago, he said, you know, just go drive by the playgrounds at the grade schools and watch the little kids. They've got it figured out. So I think that's a nice, simple lesson for the rest of us.
It's true. We just need to get along.
Got it.
We're all living in the same space,
About
same community. We need to get along.
Yeah, so come and join us in that space and community downtown, sort of the epicenter of fun and diversity in Faribault. And we've done really well this last 12 months with events down there. And again, the fall festival coming up, it's going to be a blast.
And it doesn't end either when the snow flies, because you have hometown holidays.
Hometown holidays, and you know, we're reaching out right now. We're doing the planning. We're reaching out for volunteers to help plan that. You know, those who show up are the ones who make the decisions, Gordy. So when we're doing a little gathering and we send out the meeting notices and do the shout outs to come to the table for your input on planning events, it's important that if you have a strong feeling or strong idea, to show up, give us a hand, help us do the best we can.
So forget Nort sitting here, Sam. When they approached you about being on this Main Street board, what were your initial thoughts?
I jumped on the opportunity, and the reason why is I do recognize my role here, not only in the school district, but, valuing the community of Faribault here, that I do have a role to play. And I think, being a part of an organization like Main Street will help me, help the students and families that I work with, feel this connection to Faribault and realize that, they can happily say that Faribault is home. And this is my home. I want to participate in it. I want to help it out, and make it a better community than even what it is right now. It's a great community already, but with the contributions of everybody, it can even be better. And I thought that, that's an important role that I have to play. So I love being on the board, and I was very honored when Nort invited me to be on the board.
I got a tour of your new facility over there by the high school, And they got a tour through the kitchen there, the kitchen area,
Uh-huh.
where people can learn how to use it. You know, we don't think about that, but the kitchens here in America are a little different from some other places like Somalia, right?
Somalia or Cambodia, the refugee camps even where really a kitchen didn't exist. So yeah, I mean, and community ed and adult basic education, who runs program through that building over there has really thought it out very well and in terms of how to really support our families and community.
It's beautiful. So if you get a chance, pop on out and take a look. Have you seen it, Nord?
I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to.
You got a little conference area they can rent out. I think they can rent out that kitchen area too, right?
I'm not so sure of the
Okay.
details, but I think it's open to the community to use for sure.
Yeah, they can contact the school district and find out details, but it's very nice. I'd love to have that kitchen in my house.
I'm building one right now. I'm just about done with it at home. Maybe I should get the final
Mhm.
ideas from that one. You really or highlighted, I should say, Sam, the idea that everybody's path is a little different. I've never had to, only by choice have I had to subside in a camp, right?
Mhm.
Where that's where I needed to be, or only because I wanted to be. But those whose lives and their path brought them through refugee camp situations. That's something that it's hard for me to get my arms around.
Yeah.
And it's I think something that should be respected. Those that have had that part of their walk of life involve that part of the journey. That's compelling, I think, when you truly think about and understand what that looks like. So
That's how blessed we've been here.
absolutely.
And that's why Sam and others come to our country. They want to experience that same thing, right?
America does give us a lot of hope, and we come for that hope, to be happy, healthy, and free with our family. So
It's what everybody wants, right there in the nutshell. Sam said it best.
Sam's the man.
thanks
Yeah.
a lot, guys.
Well, I've only got a few seconds left. Again, Taste of Faribault. Did you find the hours?
Taste of Faribault is 5 to 8.
How's that for my bald head?
Yeah,
Huh?
hey, very good, Gordy. My pals Barb and Kim both responded on the text on that one.
Wow.
And then October 8th, fantastic downtown event, and with the Historic Society and with F-Town. So F-Town, 50-mile gravel grinder race that day.
Wow.
That includes the Nature Center and lots of fun.
All right. Tomorrow we go to Divine Mercy. You're in tune to KDHLAM, Faribault, Minnesota.